In this video I will change the fluid in automatic transmission. It will be the second flush. In the first flush I used good quality regular ATF. I made about 1000 kilometers or 620 miles, and now I will fill it with synthetic ATF. Changing ATF is not the same as changing the engine oil. In my case, the oil pan holds only a little bit over 2 liters of fluid, and the whole transmission holds about 8 liters. Your car can be different, and this method may not work in yours. I will change the fluid using the cooling return line at the radiator. The ATF is cooled in the radiator along with the antifreeze. The procedure has to be done with a running engine. I start with draining ATF from the tranny pan. To get access to the plug, the car was first on ramps, and now I lower it to level and drain as much fluid as I can. I wipe the pan and screw the plug back in. Clean it a little bit more to be able to spot any leaks after. I got this container ready with the scale in liters. I collect the ATF drained from the pan and measure how much of the fresh I have to put back in. I have a little more than 2 liters, and this amount of fresh goes back in before the flush procedure. I will now open the return line at the radiator. Counterhold the port. And the union is undone. Be ready for some spill. The line goes aside. And I protect it so it doesn't suck anything in. Now I connect a transparent hose to the port. I have a tight fit here, otherwise I would use a clamp. The hose is on. The second end goes to the marked container. Pulling out the dipstick and introducing there a clean, I said clean, funnel. One must go clean here. I cover the funnel because I work outside and birds are singing over my head, if you know what I mean. I work outside because the engine will be running during the flush. For the first flush, I used good but regular ATF. Obviously, use the type of fluid that your transmission requires. Fresh ATF, red and transparent. Now I add fresh regular ATF to the pan, so I can start the procedure with 8 liters fluid in the transmission. Empty container, and we start the engine. And the tranny spills out the fluid. To keep about the same level of ATF in the transmission, I add at the same time fresh synthetic ATF through the funnel. I keep an eye on amount of fluid that comes out and in. The ATF comes out faster than it goes in, so my assistant starts and stops the engine as needed. When the engine is running, my helper shifts the gears. so the fresh fluid has a chance to pass through all of the transmission internals.
Start!
8 liters out and 8 liters in, but I will have to check the fluid level. We check the ATF level when it's hot and with the engine running, after 20 miles or 30 kilometers of driving. As you can see, the dipstick has two different min and max levels on both sides depending on the fluid temperature. Pulling out the funnel and inserting the dipstick. Disconnecting the hose and trying to drain as much fluid as possible. The union is getting united. Counter hold. The old fluid. It is not transparent anymore, but it is red. Brown color or burnt smell may indicate problems ahead.